everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Julianne and I make crochet tutorials. I also kind of try to make videos about my life as a flight attendant and small business owner. But today I have a very exciting video where I'll be showing you how to make this Labubu outfit, this strawberry themed Labubu outfit. So there's going to be two parts for this video series. One will be part 1 where I'll teach you how to make the hat, and part 2 where I'll teach you how to make the dress. So welcome to part 1 of the crochet tutorial where I'll be teaching you how to make this Labubu strawberry hat. For the materials of this project, you'll need red yarn, of course. You'll also need a little bit of green, and I'd say around 50 to 60 centimeters of white yarn, which is, I'm gonna guess 15 to 20 inches of inches. And I'd say you can use any type of yarn, like acrylic yarn, cotton yarn. I'm using a cotton and acrylic blend, but anything of around this thickness should work. And then I'm using a 3mm hook. And you'll need scissors, of course, a darning needle. Now let's get into the tutorial. You will be starting off with a magic ring. So for the magic ring, I like to just loop it around my finger and then pull up a loop in the center like this. And then I will start by doing chain 2. And in the first row, you are going to do 3 double crochets, 6 half double crochets, and then 3 double crochets. Now that we've completed 12 stitches, we're going to pull the end to close the loop like this. And the way that we're going to start and end each row is with a slip stitch and then a chain 2. So depending on your preference, I like to slip stitch into the first stitch that we made. So in this row it would be the first double crochet. So I'm going to slip stitch into the double crochet and then chain 2. And from here on out, you will start your next stitch into the same space where you created that slip stitch. Now for round 2, we are going to do double crochet increases in the next 3 stitches. And then we are going to chain 12, skip 6 stitches, and then in the last 3 double crochets, we're going to do double crochet increases. Once again, you will start out in the same space where you did the slip stitch. So we're going to do a double crochet increase. That's the first one. Same double crochet increase in the next stitch. And then finally in the 3rd stitch. After that, you're going to chain 12. And this is where we are going to have the ears stick out. Now we skip the 6 half double crochets that we created in the previous round. And then we are going to double crochet increase in the last 3 spaces. Now slip stitch back into the first double crochet, and you're done with row 2. For row 3, again, you're going to start with a chain 2, and then we are going to do double crochet increase, double crochet increase all around, and we are going to do that 12 times and we'll end up with 36 double crochets. So let's start with the first few before we get to the chains. Alright, so we've done the first few stitches, and now for the chain 12 spaces, usually I would just do it around the whole space, but because later we need to add on the leaves, we are going to do the stitches into each chain. So what I mean by that is, for the first double crochet, you are going to do it inside the back loop and also the middle. You know, if you turn around the chain, there's the bumps. We are going to insert our hook into the back loop and the bump of that chain and then do our double crochet. So that's the first double crochet. In the next stitch, we're going to do an increase. Again, we're going through the back loop and the bump, and we're going to do double crochet, increase. I hope you're able to see that clearly. I'm trying a new camera setup, so I hope the angle works. If not, please let me know in the comments. Okay, and we're going to do that for the rest of the chains as well as the rest of the stitches for this row. Sometimes when you transition from the change to the regular double crochets, it might be easy to miss where the first stitch is, so make sure you do your next double crochet into this stitch right here. And we'll finish by doing a slip stitch in the first double crochet. For row 4, we are going to do 8 double crochets, increase, 8 double crochet, increase, 8 double crochet, increase, 8 double crochet, increase, and in the end we will have 40 double crochets. So again, we start with 2 chains, and in the same space we're going to do a double crochet. We're going to do 7 more for a total of 8, and then an increase, and do that 4 times in total for this row. I just finished row 4 and I'm left with 40 stitches, and I'm going to slip stitch back into the first double crochet. Now row 5 is really easy. You're going to chain 2 as always, and then you're going to do double crochet all around. I'm at the end of row 5 and I'm going to finish again with a slip stitch. Now we're going to go on to row 6, and this is the last row of the hat. As always, we start with a chain 2, and for this you can modify this pattern depending on how roughly you want the edges to be. If you want it to be more like a bucket hat where it's just kind of flat and going out to the sides, what you're going to do is you're going to do one double crochet, 1 double crochet increase, and 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet increase, and do that all around. Your second option, if you want a little more ruffles, is to do double crochet increases all around. And if you want it to be super ruffly, what you'll do is you'll do 3 double crochets in one stitch, and then you'll do 2 double crochets in the next stitch. So you can alternate between 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2. For this one, I want it to be not super roughly, so I'm just gonna do the double crochet increases all around. So let's do that. I have finished row 6. So from here you can cut off the ends and then pull the yarn through. The way that I like to end it is I will take my hook, loop it into both loops of the first double crochet, pull the yarn forward, turn it around, and then I will pull it back through the back loop and the loop right below, like this, and bring it to the inside. And from there later I can use a needle to weave it in. But yeah, this is the hat, and it has like little ruffles, and let me try it on the Labubu so you can just see how it fits. So it'll go through the keychain and the ears, and you'll see that it will fit perfectly right behind the ears like this. So it's literally a perfect fit. Awesome. So honestly, if you wanted to just keep the hat like this, just a simple bucket hat or ruffle hat, you can do that. Otherwise, I will show you how to add the embellishments for the strawberry leaves and the seeds. We're going to start by adding the green leaves, and this is where it's important how you did the double crochets into the chain spaces. So if you look closely, we had 12 chain spaces, so you should be able to see the front loop of each of the chain spaces. So there's 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I kind of spaced out the leaves so that it is symmetrical. So this one's a little bit interesting because we are kind of going to crochet on the wrong side. So this is the outside of the hat. You want to make it so that the front is facing away from you. So this would be the front of the hat, because if you take your Labubu, it would fit like this. So this is the front. You want the back to be facing you, and we are going to start on, so we're going to skip 2 of the chain spaces, and we are going to start on the third one. So what you're going to do now is you're going to take your hook and insert into the third chain space like this. And you're going to take your green yarn and you're going to loop it through like so. And from here, leave a little tail because we're going to probably use it later. So what we're going to do first is we are going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. After that, you are going to skip the first chain. You're going to do a slip stitch in the second chain and a single crochet in the bottom chain. So we are doing a slip stitch and then a single crochet like so. And then in the next chain space on the red strawberry hat, we are going to do a slip stitch like this. Now we are going to do 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to do something similar. We are going to skip the first chain, or the chain closest to the hook, and then we're going to do a slip stitch, single crochet, half double crochet. So slip stitch, single crochet, half double crochet. I hope the camera is clear. Slip stitch, and then the next one, single crochet, and then the last one, half double crochet. That's our second leaf. And now we are going to, along the chain spaces in the red, we are going to skip one and we're going to slip stitch into the next one, next chain space, like so. And you'll see that you have 2 leaves, and you'll see later, but we are going to sew them down like that, which is why we're crocheting kind of on the reverse side. Now we are going to do the stem. So we are going to chain 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we are going to turn it around, and you see these bumps on the back. We are going to be doing slip stitches along the bumps. So I'm going to skip the first one, and I'm going to do slip stitch in the next 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It might be a little bit hard getting used to, but once you get the hang of it, you'll be able to do it like a pro. So 1, 2, the bump here. I really hope the camera's clear. 3, 4. So that's 4. And then you are going back to the chain spaces, and you are going to do a slip stitch in the next one. Perfect. And now we are going to do the reverse of the first 2 leaves that we made. We are going to do 4 chains and then skip the one closest to the hook, and then do a slip stitch, single crochet, half double crochet, skip the next chain space, and then slip stitch. And finally, you're going to chain 3, skip the chain, slip stitch in the next, and single crochet. And we're going to slip stitch in the next chain space. Leave a bit of yarn, cut it off, and you should have 2 more chain spaces left at the end. That will make it balanced. And this is what it will look like. And now what you're going to do is this stem is going to stay up, but we want the leaves to be on the hat. So you can either use glue, or you can use these ends to sew them down. You don't have to do it super perfectly. I just like to go, so on this side, I'm just gonna go through the back. And you don't need to sew it completely because it's kind of cute if the ends come up a little bit. So I just go through it a couple of times, in and out. And then on this one as well. In and back out. Again, you just want it to just be sitting just a little bit, like that. And I just do 2 sides here, and I'm going to use this end for the other side. Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to cut off the ends now before I work on the seeds. Alright, for the seeds, you're going to need your white yarn. Again, I said around 60 centimeters, but honestly 50 centimeters should be enough. I'm not sure what that is in inches, like at least 15 inches, I'd say. So for the seeds, I made a little plan on how, or I don't know how to call it, but I basically have a way to space it out super evenly. So the seeds are going to be between row it's going to be on row 5 and row 4. Row 5 and row 4. And here I'm going to make it as clear as possible. How we're going to start is we're going to use this stem as the center mark. And on row 5, we are going to find the center as much as possible. And you go in through this space between row 4 and row 5, pull the yarn through, and I only go halfway, and then you're going to insert it into the bottom part of the double crochet in row 5, like here, right here. And that, I think, is the ideal spot for the seeds. So as you might remember, row 5 and row 4, they both have 40 double crochets. So there's 40 spaces, and I've spaced it out so that there's 8 seeds in each row, and we're going to be kind of alternating. If you're first starting, you can start with the bottom row first and then do the top row. For this video, that's what I will do. If you do that, you will need more yarn probably, but once you get the hang of it, I like to zigzag. So maybe I'll show you both cases. The reason why I like to start on row 5 for the seeds is because it's just single, like double crochets, whereas on row 4, you do a few increases, so that kind of changes the count a little bit. But I did my first seed here, so we are going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the 5th one we are going to do another seed, because 40 divided by 8 is 5, so we're doing the seeds in every 5 stitches, like this. And then if you want to do the top row, you're going to kind of do it in between these two. So I'm going to say it's around here, like that. And because there's some increases, when you do count it, let's say you do come across an increased space like right here, you're going to count that as 2 spaces. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And eventually once you do this more, or if you do it a couple times, you'll kind of see what looks good when you put in the strawberry seeds. So yeah, I don't know, I hope that's not too confusing, but I like to make things super symmetrical, so that's why I really try to make a pattern that makes the seeds very symmetrical. So now I'm just gonna do a zigzag, then you can kind of see how I do it. So from this one right here, I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the 5th space. We're going to put the seed. And now we're counting the bottom row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is where we're going to put the next seed. It's not going to be completely symmetrical, but still going to be really cute. Again, see here, there's the increased space. So we're going to count this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is next space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the reason why I told you to only pull up the yarn halfway in the beginning is because I want the yarn to join at the back. So we're going to do this until I run out of yarn, and I'm going to move on to the other end. Alright, so we've done all the stitches and looks super even, and now on the inside we can just tie up the ends, weave it in, and cut it off. I think this strawberry hat is super cute and pretty simple, I'd say. And Yeah, it looks so cute on the Labubu. We are done with the strawberry Labubu hat. Let's try it on. Okay, this is what it looks like. It looks adorable, if I do say so myself. And yeah, I think the strawberry stem is super cute, and the seeds. So it looks like on the back, and it's a perfect fit right below the ear, right behind the ears. Now, if you want to make the dress, you can go to part 2 of this video series, and I hope to see you there. Bye!